Here's the 30-second lesson on what legends know. Never practice nunchucks in a crowded room. Never eat chole before a road trip. Always take your shirt off before you iron it. Don't take a call near a swimming pool. And don't forget, saving is not investing. Legends don't just save, they invest in mutual funds. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
A POCSO court in Ajmer. POCSO, as we know, is Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. POCSO court has given out conviction orders sentencing all six of the accused to life imprisonment in what is known as the old 32-year-old Ajmer gang rape and blackmail case. Now that case has been talked about, it's been debated, it's been discussed. It has also left in its trail lots of broken families, lots of broken lives. It has also seen many people go to jail. However, is there closure now? The trial in this case has taken place in several stages. That's because at different stages, some people got caught, some people escaped, some people were given bail, somebody jumped bail, somebody was given bail but died by suicide, right? Somebody declared himself mentally not fit enough to take trial but was later declared by another court to be fit to take trial. Some were acquitted by higher courts. In some cases, sentences were set aside by higher courts or reduced. All this has gone on because there were many accused, at least 18, and there were many victims. In fact, if you believe what is believed in Ajmer widely, there were more than 100 victims. However, only 16 came up to complain in the courts and testify. You can imagine how difficult it would be for these young women because all of these were school students when these crimes took place. That's why these cases are in POCSO courts now. These were girls from mainly two schools in Ajmer, but also maybe from other schools. But the story was about the same, about similar. There was a straight line to the story. Very young women enticed using one trick or the other by these very influential young people. Influential young people, they were rich, they had bikes or even cars at that point, right? Bikes, cars, chains, stuff they show off. This is 1992, Ajmer of 1992, right? So you can imagine economic reform had just started in India now. This was a very different India. And there were not that many fancy restaurants or anything. So there were just some hangouts where school kids would escape and go. And obviously, those school kids will also not have enough money to spend, etc., etc. You can picture that situation. So the basic modus operandi was to entice these young women, some because you said it's my birthday, distribute free ice cream to the entire restaurant, then make friends, come with me, I'll take you to such and such place. And then these led to a process of what might be described today as grooming. So these were really grooming gangs in Ajmer. Again, the important thing was, and what made many of these people very influential, was that many of them came from the families who are linked to the Dargah of Khwaja Moinuddin. This is a very revered Dargah, and it's not as if only the Muslims go there, Hindus go there, Sikhs go there, people from all faiths go there. Now, there are traditional families there. Usually they are called Moinis because they are descendants of Moinuddin Chishti. Even we also have a Moini friend there. So if we go there, he looks after us, right? Similarly, these families also carry the second name Chishti. Chishti comes from Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti. So many of these boys were from the very extended, very large Chishti clan. Now there are Chishtis and Chishtis and Chishtis. So in fact, when we carried these stories also on the print, I got a string of letters and protests from the Moinis, or the Khadims as they are called. They are a bit like, say, in a Hindu temple, there might be family priests who take you around and they know who their regular guests are. It works a little bit like that. So they wrote many protests to us saying that by constantly talking about these boys being linked to us. You're giving the entire community of Moinis or the Khadims a bad name. That point was addressed because the coverage was done with great care, and the coverage in the print was done by Jyoti Yadav, who we will speak to in just a little while after I have given you the basics of the story. So what's happened now? The 6 people awarded life imprisonment now are Salim Chishti, Nafis Chishti, Naseem, also known as or alias Tarzan. There was also a Maradona in one of the earlier lots. So Naseem alias Tarzan, Muhammad Iqbal Ajmeri, Suhail Ghani and Syed Zamir Hussain. These have now been given life imprisonment. In the legal process that's gone on so far, this seems to be the last stage. So now, of course, all of these will go in appeal to the High Court, and we'll see what happens there, because in some of the earlier cases, I told you this trial has taken place in many stages. I will just give you a chronology with some commentary, and once I'm finished with that, we will bring Jyoti Yadav in the picture and ask her some questions, because she's the one who reconstructed this story and investigated this story in great detail just a couple of years back. So first of all, the chronology. So the chronology is that the first story, now this stuff was happening in early part of 1992. So transport yourself back mentally into 1992, India of early 1992. India of early 1992, Narasimha Rao government is in power already. Mr. Advani has started his Rath Yatra. Hindu-Muslim tensions are running high, right? And Narasimha Rao doesn't know how to deal with it. He's trying to do various things. In any case, it is in that year that a few months later, in December, that the destruction of Babri Masjid takes place. So this was a very fraught period communally in India's history. This was a very rough year in terms of communal relationships in India. It was getting worse by the day. So early part of April, it seems that the first stories of these grooming gangs, today that's a much used term, so I'm using that. That term has come to us from the Western world. These grooming gangs were operative. Now they continued on, and this network of young women they were trapping. I don't have to use allegedly anymore. The network of young women they were trapping was growing by the day, because they would get one, then they will pressure her to get one more and one more and one more, because the method was to get these women, very young women, subject them to forced sex, rape, in many cases gang rape one after the other, and take their pictures. Take those pictures. This was the era of still cameras. Take their pictures on still cameras, then take those films to a lab, to a color photo lab. Those things have mostly disappeared now. So take those films to a color photo lab, which would develop those negatives and make prints. Those prints, then you show these young women and use those prints to blackmail them. Blackmail them, number one, so they would continue on letting you do what you were doing. Second, they will not complain to anybody. That was a very important thing. And third, maybe also bring in other women into the net. Now that had gone on. How did the story break? That's important to understand. The lab where these films were being taken, that was being run by a man called Purushottam. Now Purushottam was developing these pictures, and one day he saw one of his neighbor's name was Devendra. He saw one of his neighbors watching a pornographic publication, a magazine or something. And he said, "You are watching this pornography, huh? I will show you the real stuff," right? And then he took out these pictures and showed to his neighbor. The neighbor actually got concerned because these were local women, young Indian women, right? So how did he get these pictures? So the neighbor got concerned, and neighbor reached out to a daily newspaper called Dainik Navjyoti. Dainik Navjyoti broke the first stories. The neighbor actually reached out to Dainik Navjyoti, also reached out to Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Dainik Navjyoti it is which broke the first story on 21st April 1992, and I am sharing with you Jyoti Yadav's story, and the story will also run on your screen as we talk. the picture and the name of the reporter is there. So that is one of the heroes, because it is his stories or his exposes that actually brought this scandal to light, or this terrible atrocity to light. The first story did not make so much impact. The second story, published on 15th of May, that is 3 weeks later, the second story also published some of these pictures blurred, right? That shook the city's conscience, and that is when action started. On 18th of May, his second story came out on 15th of May. This is 1992. On 18th of May, 3 days later, there was an Ajmer Bandh called, because by this time you knew that all the accused, all the people on the alleged criminal side, at this point I'm saying alleged criminal side, were all Muslim. The victims were all Hindu. But as things later turned out, some of the accused were Hindus as well, and some of the accomplices were Hindu. For example, people running this photo lab, this color photo lab, were certainly Hindu. That said, 27th of May, state government acted and they issued National Security Act warrants against some people. But more importantly, on 30th of May, the first proper FIR was launched. The first proper FIR was launched. That FIR, however, did not name the two key persons of whom one has been convicted now, one was convicted earlier. That happened in subsequent FIRs and charge sheets. Once this FIR was launched by North Ajmer DCP Hari Prasad Sharma, then SPCID NK Patni was sent from Jaipur to investigate it further. NK Patni is somebody that Jyoti Yadav has spoken to in her story, and when you read her story, you will get more details. Plus, when we talk with Jyoti, she'll tell us more about it. So, in fact, it is Patni who said to Jyoti Yadav then that my concern was that this was communally a very fraught situation. Now, most of the accused were Muslim, most of the victims, all the victims were Hindu. At the same time, some accused were Hindus as well, particularly in the photo lab. So how sensitively do you handle this story or this case so it doesn't get communalized? However, it did get communalized and has remained communalized since then. 3rd September of the same year, the first charge sheet was filed in this case. It was a 250-page charge sheet. The trial started on 28th of September 1992. Within 25 days of the filing of the charge sheet, this went on 18th of May 1998. 8 of the accused was given life sentence. 8 of the accused were convicted. They were given life sentence by Ajmer Sessions Court. This went further. Obviously, this was appealed. I can give you the names of the 8 who were convicted. These are Maujullah, also known as or alias Puttan, Parvez Ansari, Ishrat Ali, Manish Ludhani, Kailash Soni, Syed Anwar Chishti, and Harish Tolani. I told you they were Hindu accused as well. And they were Shamsuddin. He had the alias of Maradona. After that, on 20th of July 2001, Rajasthan High Court acquitted 4 of these. 4 of these acquitted by Rajasthan High Court were Parvez Ansari, Manish Ludhani, Kailash Soni, Harish Tolani. April 2003, Nafees Chishti, who had still been underground, he was arrested in Delhi, arrested by Delhi police when he was trying to escape, dressed in a burqa, pretending to be a woman. At least that's a story from the police. He was arrested. Supreme Court in December 2003 said that the life sentence given in the 1998 order by the trial court was too harsh and reduced it to 10 years. 2005, another accused, Iqbal Bhatt, was arrested. Feb 2007, Farooq Chishti was given life sentence. September 2013, Farooq Chishti, the higher court said, had spent enough time, so was allowed to go home. That is the Supreme Court of India. And then 2018, Suhail Ghani, the last of the accused, also surrendered. On that, I am sharing also with you an Indian Express story that reported that. You will see that on your screen and a link as well. While all this was going on, in 1994, I am taking you back, the crime took place in 92, the first arrests took place in 92. I told you the reason the story broke was because the guy running the color photo lab, that is Purushottam, he showed these pictures and he started boasting about these pictures, and the leak of these pictures started from his studio. He had also been arrested. He was given bail. While on bail, shortly after he was sent out on bail, he was enlarged on bail. He died by suicide. That is the story so far. One of the accused, that is Almas Maharaj, he was never caught. It is generally believed that he escaped to the US and is hiding somewhere there now. That said, we'll now turn to Jyoti Yadav, who knows a lot more about this story. So, Jyoti, this verdict should give you a sense of closure as well, because you followed the story very closely. In fact, you brought it back to life, because it looked like the story had been forgotten, because it's a 30-year-old story. And your story showed that many of these women, victims by now, had not only got married, had children, but some had even become grandmothers. And yet they were being dragged into courts for hearings again and again and again. And there was a great deal of frustration and harassment. But do you now think, first of all, that there is closure to this story?
सर, क्योंकि एक अक्यूज्ड अभी भी वो बाहर है, पकड़ा नहीं गया, अलमास महाराज, जो यूएस में, जिसके बारे में कहा जा रहा है कि वो यूएस में है। तो जब वो दोबारा से कभी इंडिया लाया गया या उसने खुद सरेंडर किया, जैसे लास्ट टाइम 2018 में हुआ था, तो फिर इस केस की ट्रायल फिर से शुरू होगी। वो जितनी सारी विक्टिम्स थी, जितने सारे आई विटनेसेस थे, उनको कोर्ट में फिर से बुलाया जाएगा, क्योंकि सीआरपीसी का जो सेक्शन 273 है, उसमें जब जब कोई अक्यूज सरेंडर करता है या पकड़ा जाता है, तो फिर से ट्रायल शुरू होती है। तो ये इसका एक पहलू ये है कि ये केस अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन जो विक्टिम्स हैं, जो सर्वाइवर्स हैं, उन्होंने मूव ऑन कर लिया लाइफ में, वो जस्टिस नहीं चाहती। जितने मैंने इंटरव्यूज किए हैं, उन्होंने यही बोला कि अब हमें जस्टिस नहीं चाहिए। तो ये विक्टिम्स का कहना है कि वी डोंट वांट जस्टिस एनीमोर, जस्ट डोंट ड्रैग अस टू द कोर्ट अगेन एंड अगेन,
because they don't want to relive the same tragedy again and again and again, and the
Yes.
trauma of the same questions, because
Yes.
under 273 CRPC, the complainant has to make her statement and be questioned, also cross-examined in the presence of the accused. So it's very traumatic.
yes.
Yeah.
So probably this is not a closure.
Yeah. So in each case, all these 100 plus witnesses are brought. Many witnesses have turned hostile. This has
And sir,
gone
some
on.
of the witnesses have died during the
Some of the
trial.
witnesses have died.
एनके
And I see,
पाटनी, जिसके बारे में आपने बताया आईपीएस को, जब मैं इस सीरीज का सेकंड पार्ट करने गई थी, तब तक वो गुजर चुके थे। So he is no
Acha, wo
longer.
could be good. You've said that this case in this 3+ decades has seen 12 public prosecutors, more than 30 SHOs, station house officers, dozens of SPs, DGs, DIGs, and 5 changes of government in the state.
Now
And many of
6.
the
Yes.
and many of the witnesses, many of the even officers are now gone, in the sense that some have retired and some have passed away.
Yes.
And the case has had other twists, and as you said, each time it becomes a fresh trial. For example, Farooq Chishti, who was not named in the first FIR, was a key person, wasn't caught for a long time, finally got caught in 2008, I think, and then
7.
2007, and then claimed that he was mentally not fit to take trial, and that waited. Then some court ruled that no, he's fit to take trial.
Right.
Then he was put on trial. So this was a standalone trial for him.
Yes. इस केस का ये यूनिकनेस रहा कि एक पर्सन के लिए भी ट्रायल चली, और उस एक पर्सन के लिए भी विक्टिम्स को ढूंढ के बुलाया गया। तो अभी 32 इयर्स के बाद ये सीन है कि कोई भी विक्टिम, अपार्ट फ्रॉम वन लोन सर्वाइवर हु लिव्स इन अजमेर, जो सेम दरगाह लेन्स में रहती है, उसके अलावा कोई भी विटनेस अपना कॉम्पनसेशन लेने भी नहीं आएगी। जैसा मैंने अपनी कवरेज के दौरान पाया कि उनको जो 7 लाख रुपए कोर्ट ने कहा है, तो वो लेने भी, वो क्लेम करने भी नहीं आएंगी,
क्योंकि उनको ये नहीं चाहिए कि पड़ोसियों को, घर वालों को, या उनके बच्चों को भी किसी को मालूम पड़े, क्योंकि जहां मालूम पड़ा, जहां मालूम पड़ा, उनके कईयों के साथ बुरा हुआ उसके बाद।
जी, तो वो नहीं चाहती कि उनके घर कोई पुलिस वाला जाए या कोर्ट से कोई समन आए, तो उन्होंने अपने एड्रेसेस चेंज कर लिए हैं। तो जो इस पूरे ट्रायल में जो एड्रेसेस लिखे थे, जो फ़ोन नंबर्स थे, वो सब बदल चुके हैं, वहाँ पर कोई नहीं रहता। तो पुलिस के लिए भी बड़ा चैलेंज था कि उनको समन कैसे डिलीवर करें, जब उन एड्रेसेस पे कोई रहता ही नहीं है, पुराने डिलैपिडेटेड हाउसेज़ हैं, वहाँ पे कोई रहता नहीं है और ट्रेल भी है कि इस सिटी से उस सिटी, उस सिटी से किसी और सिटी, तो उनको ढूँढना बहुत मुश्किल है।
So it was tough to find the perpetrators, but it was equally tough, or maybe tougher, to find the
Tougher
victims.
to find the victims. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in a situation where police was finding it difficult to even go to the victims with someone saying, "Listen, we want to give you justice. We'll protect you. Please come with us." But they were not able to reach them. How were you able to reach some of them?
Sir, I have reached out to two of the survivors, जिनका नाम मैंने, जिनकी टेस्टिमनीज मैंने अपने आर्टिकल्स में लिखा है, और इट वाज अ वेरी,
नाम तो हमने बदल के
नाम
दिया
बदल,
है।
जी, बदल दिया है उनका नाम, पर उनको उन तक पहुँचना बहुत मुश्किल रहा। दोनों ने मुझे बहुत शुरुआत में बहुत थ्रेट्स दिए और बहुत घोस्ट किया, लेकिन थैंक्स टू माय एडिटर रमा लक्ष्मी, उन्होंने बहुत मुझे सपोर्ट किया उस दौरान। उन्होंने कहा कि हैव फेथ, आप अगर उनका विश्वास जीत पाती हैं, तो आप वो उनकी कहानी को लेकर आ पाएँगी। तो फाइनली मैंने फर्स्ट सर्वाइवर जो ढूँढी, वो दरगाह लेन्स में ही मैंने ढूँढी, और फिर उसके बाद जो दूसरी सर्वाइवर थी, वो किसी और सिटी में रहती थी, और उन्होंने मुझसे यही कहा कि यू आर द लास्ट पर्सन आई एम एंगेजिंग विद, कि इसके बाद मेरे पास आप कभी मुड़कर मत आइएगा, कभी बताना भी मत उनका, क्योंकि उनके बड़े बच्चे हैं, और उन्होंने कहा कि लेट मी मूव ऑन। तो फिर मैंने उनको उन दोनों को छोड़ दिया, लेकिन जो एक सर्वाइवर हैं जिनकी टेस्टिमनी हमने एक बड़े ही डिटेल में छापी है, वो सबसे गरीब घर की लड़की थी, और उसे जस्टिस इन द सेंस कि उन्हें मॉनेटरी हेल्प चाहिए थी। तो फाइनली इस जजमेंट से उनको थोड़ा-सा कॉम्पेंसेशन मिलेगा, और वो अपनी लाइफ जो है वो जी पाएँगी। क्योंकि उनकी 2 शादियाँ हुई, और दोनों ही शादी टूट गई, क्योंकि उनके पतियों को उनका ये जो पुराना पास्ट था, जो जो उनके साथ हुआ, उसके बारे में पता चल गया, और उनके साथ बड़ा फिर ट्रेजिक उनका उनका एंड हुआ उनकी मैरेजेस का। सो दिस सर्वाइवर आई फाउंड इन अजमेर।
तो जब पहली बार उससे आप मिलने गई, तो वो
जी।
सीन डिस्क्राइब करिए मेरे लिए।
पहली बार मैं गई तो मैंने उनको कई सारे सोर्सेज़ के थ्रू ट्रेस किया था। जो लास्ट सोर्स था वो पुलिस वाला था। उन्होंने कहा कि इट्स अप टू यू, आपको हम बता सकते हैं वो किस एरिया में रहती है, वहाँ जाके ढूँढिए, आप उनका नंबर निकालिए और आप उनसे मिलिए। हम आपको नहीं रोक रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये पॉक्सो का केस है, तो इसमें पत्रकार भी बहुत लाइन क्रॉस नहीं कर सकते। एक सर्टेन लाइन है, आप ना तो उनके पता या उनके नंबर निकाल सकते हैं, पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर से नहीं मिलेगा। पुलिस भी आपको नहीं बताएगी, क्योंकि ये मामला एक सीक्रेसी का भी होता है, आप उनकी उनकी प्राइवेसी लीक नहीं कर सकते। तो जब मैं उनके पास गई थी, तो वो पहले तो थोड़ी-सी घबराई, उन्होंने मुझी से सवाल-जवाब किए कि आप क्यों इतने साल बाद आई हैं? 30 साल पहले उनकी फ़ोटो किसी पत्रकार ने, जो फ़ोटोज़ आप देख रहे हैं, अखबारों ने जो लीक की, वो वही वही विक्टिम है, वही सर्वाइवर हैं। तो उनका बहुत मीडिया के प्रति भी बहुत एक एक तरह का
गुस्सा
गुस्सा
था।
था कि मेरी फ़ोटोज़ छापी गई, तो 30 साल बाद आप क्यों आई हैं? उन्होंने पहले मुझसे यही पूछा कि 30 साल बाद आप क्यों आई हैं? मैं आपसे क्यों बात करूँ? तो फिर उन 1 दिन लगा, और फिर मैंने दोबारा कॉल किया, तो उन्होंने कहा आप घर पे आइए। फिर घर पे वो ताला बंद करके चली गई, तो मैंने उनके घर बाहर बैठकर वेट किया। फाइनली जब वो आई और मुझसे मिली, तो मैंने उनको अपनी कवरेज के बारे में बताया, जो प्रिंट पे हमने बहुत सारी इन्वेस्टिगेशंस की हैं। तो उन्होंने थोड़ा विश्वास जताया, और फिर 2 से 3 मीटिंग्स के बाद वो फाइनली उन्होंने दिल खोल के बात की और बताया कि वो क्या चाहती हैं। तो बहुत
There are so
डिफिकल्ट,
many
लॉट्स ऑफ कन्विंसिंग चाहिए थी इसके लिए।
There are so many twists and turns in this story. For example, one of the accused was Syed Zahoor Chishti, who was actually charged under Section 377 IPC for unnatural sexual offences. And in his case, the complainant was a man
जी,
who then later turned hostile hostile witness, in the sense that he did not want to press on with the prosecution. In fact, even when I read this latest judgment, it's a judgment in Hindi, very clearly written. There is mention of one particular case where pictures of another man had been taken, obscene pictures had been, or explicit pictures had been taken, and those pictures were used to blackmail him as well. So there was that trial also going on simultaneously in this case.
जी। सो सर, ये पूरे इस केस की, इस कहानी की शुरुआत की जो शुरू की कड़ी है वो उस लड़के का ब्लैकमेल होना ही है। वही लड़का था जो फर्स्ट विक्टिम को इस गैंग से इंट्रोड्यूस कराया, बताया कि ये यूथ कांग्रेस के लीडर हैं, आपको गैस कनेक्शन दिलवा देंगे, आपको मेंबरशिप दिलाएंगे पार्टी की। एंड दिस गर्ल वाज अ फ्रेंड ऑफ दैट बॉय, जो यंग थे ये लोग, कॉलेज भी नहीं गए थे, 17-18 ईयर्स ओल्ड थे। तो उस लड़के से इस कहानी की शुरुआत हुई, पहले उसको ब्लैकमेल किया गया। और जो मैराडोना है जिसका जिक्र आपने किया, मैराडोना के साथ उनके फोटोज थे और बाद में वो भी हॉस्टाइल हो गया। वो अब सिटी में उसका भी ट्रेस नहीं है, अजमेर में वो भी नहीं रहता है।
हाँ, क्योंकि वो अपना सेंटेंस सर्व करके फिर वो निकल गया उसके बाद उसको,
जी।
क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कम भी कर दिया था। ज्योति,
हम्म।
टेल मी, स्टोरी appears to be straight out of a crime thriller, a small town ही था अजमेर in 1992.
जी।
Farmhouses, elite schools. There were two schools that you mentioned, which at that point were elite in Ajmer for local people. Fast cars, right? Those days, even a Premier Padmini was a fast car, 1992, or maybe some Marutis had come, but fast cars and a gang of men with religious, political, and financial clout. There are only villains in this story, or are there any heroes? And if so, who are the heroes?
जो फर्स्ट हीरो है जिसका आपने नाम लिया, जो संतोष गुप्ता, जो एक लोकल क्राइम रिपोर्टर था। उस वक्त क्राइम रिपोर्टर्स अपनी स्टोरीज खोजते रहते थे कि नेक्स्ट बिग स्टोरी क्या है क्या है। तो इस गैंग पे उन सबकी नजर रहती थी कि मे बी दे आर अप टू समथिंग, ये कुछ तो करते हैं। कहाँ जाते हैं ओपन जीप में, ये जो एक वैन जो आती है लड़कियों को लेकर जाती है, ड्रॉप करके जाती है, तो वो उस स्टोरी पे थे। और उन्होंने उस वक्त बहुत करेज दिखाई, क्योंकि इस पूरे एपिसोड में बहुत सारे पत्रकारों के साथ मारपीट भी हुई अक्यूज ने, बट ही शॉट स्माइन। और उन्होंने वो फोटो अपने एडिटर को जाकर दिखाई और उन्होंने वो छापी। फर्स्ट हीरो संतोष गुप्ता ही है, एंड ही स्टेड विद द स्टोरी ओवर द इयर्स। उसी शहर में रहना, उन्हीं लड़कों को आप देख रहे हो कोर्ट में आते हुए, उनको देख रहे हो एसपी वगैरह या फिर पुलिस से मीटिंग्स करते हुए देखते हुए, तो भी एक फियरलेस रहना बड़ा मुश्किल था। बट संतोष गुप्ता ने इस पूरे केस की कवरेज से इसको अपने अपने अंत तक पहुंचाया। एक ट्रायल शुरू हुई, केस रजिस्टर हुआ। और अभी क्योंकि ये जो सेंटेंस हुआ है 6 अक्यूज को, उसमें एक एसएचओ है दलबीर सिंह। वो अभी दरगाह
Yeah.
जो पुलिस थाना है उसमें वो पोस्टेड थे। और उनकी कहानी ये थी कि जब वो अब वो भरतपुर जिले में जब वो पल बढ़ रहे थे, तो उन्होंने ये केस जो है अखबारों से पढ़ा था। और जब उनकी पोस्टिंग अजमेर में हुई और अचानक से एक दिन कोर्ट से उनको बताया गया कि भाई आप विक्टिम्स को लेकर आइए इस केस में, तो उन्हें पता चला कि अच्छा, ये 30 साल बाद ये केस अभी भी जिंदा है। और फिर उनको लगा कि उन्हें कुछ करना चाहिए। सो ही वाज एबल टू ब्रिंग सो मेनी आई विटनेसेस एंड विक्टिम्स। और विक्टिम्स ने उनको बहुत थ्रेट किया। उन्होंने लीगल नोटिस भिजवाए एसएचओ को कि आप, हाउ डेयर यू, आप हमें फोन कैसे कर सकते हैं, आपने हमारा एड्रेस कैसे ढूंढा। उनको बहुत ज्यादा हॉस्टिलिटी का सामना भी करना पड़ा। बट उन्होंने जो लास्ट जो 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 लॉन सर्वाइवर है अजमेर में अभी रह रही है, वो उनका बयान करवा पाए। और उसी के आधार पे फिर ये जो है केस अपने जजमेंट तक पहुंचा। तो दलबीर सिंह इज ऑल्सो अ हीरो इन दिस स्टोरी। एंड ऑफ कोर्स सर्वाइवर्स, जिन्होंने इतने सारे थ्रेट्स के बावजूद, क्योंकि भले ही पुलिस और कोर्ट उन सर्वाइवर्स को नहीं ढूंढ पाया, लेकिन जो अक्यूज थे, खादिम फैमिली के जो एक्सटेंडेड मेंबर्स थे, उन्होंने उनको दूसरी सिटीज में ढूंढ लिया था। तो उन्होंने उनको थ्रेट्स दिए, उनसे झूठे हलफनामे कोर्ट को दिलवाए कि हम जानते ही नहीं कौन नफीस चिश्ती है। बट बाद में उन्होंने अपनी टेस्टमनीज दी, छुप छुप कर आई। और फाइनली ये जो उनकी टेस्टमनीज के आधार पे ये जो जजमेंट है वो अभी कोर्ट ने सुनाया।
But there is an added complexity to this case, Jyoti, because usually it's the victims who seek justice. In this case, the victims, on the other hand, were trying to evade the justice system. They were trying to evade the judicial system. And they were as hostile, if not more, to investigators, to prosecutors, even journalists like you, as the perpetrators were. So that's quite an irony, isn't it? How do you explain it?
यस सर, एक्चुअली ये जो 90s में जब इस केस की पूरी कवरेज हुई थी, तो उस वक्त अजमेर की लड़कियों से कोई शादी नहीं करता था। तो जब भी अजमेर में किसी का रिश्ता आता था, तो लड़की का बायोडेटा जो है प्रेस के पास पहुंच जाता था और पूछा जाता था कि इस लड़की की फोटो देखिए, इसके फोटोज आपके पास आए थे क्या। और एक एंटायर जनरेशन थी लड़कियों की जो इस पूरे केस के साथ पली बड़ी, उनके साथ ये अटैच हो गया। जो 92 में तो सोफिया और सावित्री स्कूल की जो लड़कियां थी 92 बैच की, उनकी शादियां बहुत मुश्किल से हुई। तो जो उस दौर में जो लड़कियां पढ़ रही थी इन स्कूलों में, उनके उनके ऊपर एक ठप्पा
खास
लग
करके दो स्कूलों में,
2 स्कूलों में। जी, जी, जी।
जी हाँ।
इनफैक्ट वहाँ के प्रिंसिपल्स जो वहाँ के रिटायर्ड प्रोफेसर हैं, उनके मैंने इंटरव्यू किए तो उन्होंने बताया कि प्रिंसिपल्स ने 60-70 लड़कियों के फ़ोटो इकट्ठे किए और सब सारे प्रोफेसर्स को दिखा-दिखा के पूछा, ये लड़की आती है, नहीं आती है, इसकी अटेंडेंस बताइए। तो उस तरह के माहौल में जब वो लड़कियाँ पली-बढ़ी और निकली, तो उससे बहुत ना सिर्फ विक्टिम्स को बल्कि इनके साथ जितनी लड़कियाँ स्कूलों में गई, उनके साथ भी बहुत एक एक तरह का
क्योंकि
उन्होंने भी
उनकी
ट्रॉमा झेला।
आपने
जी।
जैसे लिखा, जो लड़कियां उस बैच से, उन बैचेस से, इन स्कूलों से निकली, उनकी शादी मुश्किल हो गई थी।
जी, जी, उनकी शादियाँ मुश्किल हो गई और अजमेर की सोसाइटी के लिए भी ये जो रेप केस की तरह ना होके एक सेक्स स्कैंडल जैसा हो गया कि इसमें पॉलिटिकल लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं। उस वक़्त अजमेर में 350 पत्रकार थे और 150 न्यूज़पेपर्स पब्लिश हो रहे थे। एक कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री बन गई थी। कोई भी स्क्रैप डीलर भी अपनी दुकान के बाहर एक न्यूज़पेपर खोल के शुरू हो गया। हर रोज़ नई लड़की का नाम ड्रॉप हो रहा है। लड़कों के पास भी अक्यूज्ड के पास भी प्रेस वाले जा रहे हैं कि पैसे दो, और जो लड़कियों की फैमिली थी उनसे बहुत पैसे ऐंठे गए कि आपकी लड़की का कल नाम छापेंगे, आप पैसे दीजिए। तो
तो
ऐसे
वो
में जो ये
तो इसमें अखबार में लोग अपने आप को फटाफट पत्रकार बना के, पीपल वर जस्ट डिक्लेयरिंग
यस,
देमसेल्व्स जर्नलिस्ट एंड दे वर
जर्नलिस्ट।
आल्सो ब्लैकमेलिंग दीज विक्टिम्स।
जी। तो फिर फैक्ट और फिक्शन फिर वहाँ ब्लर हो गया और तभी से ये केस जो है बहुत सारे इसमें फेक न्यूज़ ऐड होती चली गई और इतनी लड़कियों के जो नाम आते हैं, कहीं कहते हैं 300 लड़कियाँ थी, कहीं 400 लड़कियाँ थी, उतनी लड़कियाँ नहीं थी। पुलिस जो है वो 35 लड़कियों तक पहुँच पाई थी और उनको लगता था अगर नंबर डबल भी होगा तो ये 70 होगा, अगर ट्रिपल भी होगा तो 100 से ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकता। तो 16 जो है विक्टिम्स ने कोर्ट को पहला शुरुआत में उन्होंने टेस्टिफाई किया। लेकिन विक्टिम्स और जो लड़कियां थी वो इस केस से अपने आप को एसोसिएट नहीं करना चाहती थी, इसलिए वो इवेड करती रही। जस्टिस उनको चाहिए ही नहीं था। दे जस्ट वांटेड टू बी लेफ्ट अलोन और एक उनका राइट भी था कि हमें भूल जाओ, वी वांट टू बी फॉरगॉटन।
Well, I mean, that underlines what a degree of difficulty you faced while doing this story, and that's why even more credit to you that you were able to conclude this award-winning story, and now this conviction should bring you some sense of satisfaction. That said, the numbers, sometimes we in the media get caught in numbers, but even one woman subjected to this is one too many. And 100 or 70 or 65, they might just be numbers, but the fact is that each one is a victim too many. And that's why, even if justice is done late, I know that it's very traumatic for wheels of justice to turn so slowly, but even if it happens late, it is a cause for some satisfaction.
यस सर, डेफिनेटली। और मैंने नॉट जस्ट फॉर मी बट फॉर एसएचओ दलबीर सिंह, पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर वीरेंद्र सिंह राठौड़ एंड ऑल अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स जिन्होंने कोशिश की कि इसमें आखिरी
Also, ये रिपोर्टर जो
संतोष गुप्ता।
संतोष गुप्ता, जी हाँ.
यस,
Thank you very much, Jyoti. Keep up the good work. This was a very well done story.
थैंक यू सर।